So welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Happy Monkey Happy Hour, where you're never gonna know who you're gonna find or who's gonna stop by with Vlad. Tonight we have some very, very special guests from coast to coast, different area codes, but all family to the monkey. First off, we had Jared Mirsky, CEO and founder of Wick Mortar, my brother from another mother, hailing from Seattle, Washington. And we have my brother, David Tran, founder of Dope Magazine, Farechild, and so many other amazing things. We also have Abi Wright, editor for Sensi Magazine, hailing from Colorado, if I'm correct. Right, Abi?
Well, since he's out of Colorado, I'm based here in Las Vegas.
Las Vegas.
Yeah.
That's a place I love and hold dearly. Thank you for tuning in with us, Abby. And then we have, last but not least, Harry Shurek from MCA, hailing from Georgia, Atlanta.
That's right. Well, originally from New York, but living in.
Of course, but we just talking about where we are now. That's it. We're remote. We got to tell people that we're
we're coast to coast, literally.
We're keeping the family together, no matter how many miles separates us.
Good to see everybody.
Good to see you, Abby.
Yeah, we're supposed to be in Vegas next week.
I know, but at least we can be here. We're still together.
That's right.
So guys, first and foremost, I want to ask you guys, how are you guys holding up during the quarantine? And what are you smoking on to keep your mental health during this madness?
Well, I can start. I just actually used my auto to create a nice, beautiful joint here. I don't know if you used that.
I used the auto too to roll this right here.
Did you? I just pulled it out, got a little lazy, didn't want to grind it up, so I put it together. And of course, I don't know if you know, here's my little secret book of surprises in here.
Oh, I didn't know about the book.
Yeah, some great little Trapasanto, 3 in the pink, guava jelly. This is all Freddy's Fuego right here. So delicious stuff.
Abe does it right. There's no question there.
How about yourself, Jared?
I'm getting ready to heat this rig up.
Ooh, concentrates.
Yup. And then we got the little my little Space Needle dabber.
He is a very intimate, very high level connoisseur. You know, that's not for the faint of heart, Jared.
It's very true.
Stabs.
I do, however, look forward to the day when they stop using syringes to put concentrates in. I don't know. I still don't like that, but not sure.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Of course, 1,000%. How about you, Harry?
Let's see. I've got some Bubba Kush.
Okay.
I got some Zookies. Very nice. And
okay.
Plus, it's all on my Happy Munkey.
Oh, there you go.
Yes,
Happy Munkey grinder, of course. So, you know,
Need that.
gotta hold it down here in Atlanta, man. You know.
Yeah.
Abby, how are you doing over there in Vegas?
We're doing very well here in Vegas. We just got some fire over here.
Fire! That's a very broad statement. You gotta tell us what that is.
So we've got some royal cookies. I'm loving on that right now. And then we've got, I'm dropping it everywhere. Some rocket fuel, pineapple cheese. And then I think, what is this? The Wonder Woman, I think maybe? Wonder Wizard. So.
I was gonna say Wonder Woman does sound fitting.
Yeah, that's what I need to find next.
Well, guys, I'm over here smoking. A friend of mine from California has a brand called Fuego. And this is some Gorilla Glue from his collection. So this is Happy Monkey Happy Hour with Vlad. So cheers, guys.
Cheers.
Happy 420 weekend.
Happy 420.
420. Happy 420, you guys.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, just if you didn't know, now you do. This is the chronic relief edition of Happy Hour with Vlad. I need you, David, that's leading the spear here, on enlighten the people on what amazing things we're going to be doing this 420 with this amazing organization that you helped us all join for 420 to help the less fortunate.
Well, thank you, Vlad, for having me. You know, as you know, 420 was coming up, and, you know, without any events out there, you know, we knew that we wanted to get everybody together in the community, and, you know, we built so many relationships and friendships out there, and we wanted to celebrate it, but we also wanted to unite to do something really important and very meaningful, and that's really to, you know, really raise awareness on the fight for hunger, and you know, with Feeding America, you know, during this tragedy right now, you know, the human spirit has been challenged, and, you know, it's so amazing that, you know, while all of us, you know, are going through that same pain, there's people that are, you know, right now scared, hungry, and just unsupported, and organizations such as Feeding America putting together these food banks to feed them. But, you know, with this tragedy right now, there's more demand for food than ever. And people that have never been to a food bank right now are going to food banks in their cars to feed their children, and these guys don't have the support. So to me, reaching out to all of our friends in cannabis media and events, you know, everyone laid a helping hand. Jared jumped in right away, and, you know, partners like Sensi jumped in to support the cause right away, and Harry, as the sponsor for MCA, again, without even question, just said, what can we do to help? And this has been just the most amazing experience, that the outreach and the people that have asked to jump on because they want to bring more awareness to Feeding America. And now we're kind of here on one common goal. So we have an incredible show on 420. From 12 to 5 o'clock, we're going to celebrate 420 across all the time zones, starting on the East Coast with New York, and, you know, have messages of encouragement and partners like Vlad who really represent that city, and let's, you know, tell these stories. And we're going to have so many people that are going to tell different messages about what people are going through right now, and organizations to support. And we have the support of so many different companies like Last Prisoner Project, who's talking about the what's going on in jail right now, and the people that are you know, still in there for this plant that is, you know, becoming legal and essential at this point. And, you know, to me too, there's a lot of advocates and also entertainment. We want this to be a fun time. This is 420. We want to celebrate. This is a time where all of us have united one way or the other. For me, 27 years I've been uniting on 420. I'd wait for this day for a long time, and there's no way we couldn't get together. And I'm just so blessed to know that I'm going to be next to all of my really close community friends, people that built this industry for so long, as we take a toke together. And, you know, we're going to be able to continue to, you know, move this forward and raise some good money for Feeding America.
So everybody out there, ladies and gentlemen, tune in 420 Chronic Relief Fairchild. If you can and you're able to, and you could donate anything you can, a little bit makes a big difference. That's why when David hit me up, I felt honored, and it was like you said, it wasn't a question, because one thing is that I've learned about this cannabis industry, I feel like we have the best percentage of humanity in it, because the plant is a spiritual thing, and I believe you see it through everybody that's really committed to it. You see the humanity in every person when it comes to helping other humans that are in the industry. You see the unification for all these matters in society. Like you said, Last Prisoner Project, Fairchild, you know, Chronic Relief, Feeding America. So it's just an honor to see that we can get together and do something positive during these bad times.
Oh man, appreciate it so much. And the outreach has been just amazing. You'll see a lot of different variety of things there. People are just coming together. You know, you got the High Grade project that Jared has put together, High Grade Hope, and, you know, his company and a group of people are giving away, you know, business tools to be able to build businesses during these hard times right now, because we know businesses are going through those times. You know, we have chefs that are volunteering their time to show people 1-minute videos of food. And, you know, we got messages from India to talk about what's going on over there, and friends shouting from Spain. You know, to me, this is a global message that we're trying to send. And to me, everyone, this community, this tribe is so different and diverse, person. We, for one day, we get to go together, show what our diversity is, and then show the strength that we can do by sending a check over there and showing about, you know, the compassion that we all have, you know, from this, you know, from this single plant. So I'm very thankful for that.
And on that note, I mean, Vlad, if you'd like, I can talk about High Grade Hope a little bit.
Yes, please. Yes, I wanted you to elaborate on it because I didn't exactly know the details about it.
So first of all, I've got to give special credit to this guy back here.
I love you, Derek.
Yeah, man.
You're the best, man.
Derek is my best friend and creative director at Wick Mortar, and he's been working nonstop to help build this thing with me, and you know, obviously the whole Wick Mortar team. But you know, Derek's been a huge driving force behind, you know, a lot of the creative and video, and you know, special shout out to Sid and Mike for helping prepare, you know, our script, which will make a little more sense if I tell you what we're doing. So, so High Grade Hope is an initiative where we have an opportunity to donate resources alongside strategic partners we've brought on to really help make change. So we're essentially going to give 3 brand makeovers to companies who've been affected by the COVID-19 virus. And then as an ongoing initiative, we're going to continue this by basically giving doing 3 brand makeovers for companies who've been affected by other systemic related issues like, you know, gender discrimination or LGBTQ community discrimination, or, you know, felony charges or criminal background. I mean, a number of things that we all recognize that this industry has issues dealing with, especially as other people are able to thrive, whereas others can't, you know, obtain some of the same resources. So we've brought an entire team of amazing people together, Dave included. I know, Harry, I appreciate you offering to help. Let's talk more about that. But we've got, you know, Steve D'Angelo, Ricky Williams, Al Harrington. I mean, just the list goes on. Ken Liu, who is the founder of Chapter 2 Agency. They've been really helping not only Chronic Relief, but High Grade Hope, as well as Wick and Mortar, you know, really get the word out about, you know, all of this amazing stuff that, you know, we feel is going to make an impact on the industry. Now, as far as what we've been working on in the background, you know, and Dave will tell you, we've been filming a 3-segment parody, like a news parody, that's much like Saturday Night Live, where we've gotten,
so it's like improv.
Raw. Yeah, we got Josh Kesselman from Raw, and, you know, we've got Ricky Williams, and we've got, I mean, all of these amazing people, Steve, Max Simon from Green Flower, Dave. We were filming Dave in the parking lot just down here.
We were 6 feet away, by the way. 6 feet, maybe 5.
6 feet away.
Jared can't help it. He wanted to get closer, but I was like, 6 feet, bro.
Lazy made the cut though, so I don't know if dogs, you know, transfer. But sorry, Dave. Tell the wife.
No, that sounds amazing, Jared. Thank you for coming up with that and adding that flair to the whole situation. You know, I didn't know about that part because I knew about the Chronic Relief and what David had filled me in on. I know you had your own little extra sprinkle on it. How about you, Mr. Harry? How did you feel when you got selected for this amazing cause?
I mean, honestly, I just love this community, and that's really why. You know, I always tell my wife, you know, my whole deal is I came here from the other world. You know, I was in the regular world for a whole bunch of years, and I came here and dabbled here for a couple of years, and then realized I wanted to be here for good, and saw my other practice. And, you know, this whole community is, I mean, it's so welcoming, and just, we're a family. You know, it's like I was going to shoot my commercial for it the other day, and I was practicing, and I used the word canafam. And my son, who's in college, laughed at me. And he's like, canafam? That's not a real word. I'm like, it is. We are a family.
That is so true.
I tell my wife, and that's why this industry is amazing. And when I saw that from Dave, and I'm like, geez, I'm like, yeah, oh yeah, we have to jump on this. And then I saw Jared's thing. You know, I saw a couple emails come from that guy, and I finally read one, and I'm like, geez, you guys are on this, you know? And it's just, yeah, we're lucky that we're able to be successful in this industry. And, you know, we've all been here for a really long time now. And, you know, and it's cool that we're able to give back and help other people, because without the other people being successful, we don't have an industry. That's what we have to realize. We all succeed together or we all fail together, you know, and that's what people don't understand in this crazy world we work in and live in, you know, and that's same thing like Dave said earlier, you know, I mean, these are crazy times, you know, and you kind of see the real side of people in these kind of times, like 100% how people react and how they treat people and whether they're willing to sacrifice, you know, going outside or not, you know, if it's that important to go outside or maybe stay inside a little bit so people can not get sick, and, you know, and then just to be able to do cool things like this and be able to, and the 420 thing, because, yeah, I mean, everybody I'm sure was bummed, you know, this was supposed to be our month. I mean, it was fate, 42020, good grades, you know, and now we at least get to hang together, you know, and that's the amazing part. And we get to bring some cool stuff to the world and show the world that, you know, that cannabis community, that illegal, non-essential business that's now essential, that no medical value, but we need it essential because it has medical value. And now they're going to make this big donation because they were out raising money. I don't know if you know, Grateful Dead was doing the same charity last night. They were showing their movie on YouTube and raising money for the same charity.
That's a wonderful thing.
So
they need it as much as they can right now. They need a lot. So
yeah, these food lines are crazy.
That's wonderful. Yeah.
Abby, how did you feel when you found out Sensi was a part of this, and when you found out this whole thing about this amazing cause?
Well, grateful, first of all. And, you know, David is a very good friend of Sensi's. So it was, you know, no question at all that we were going to jump on board and do whatever we could to, you know, bring in sponsorships, raise awareness, you know, bring as many people to the table come Monday. And, you know, just before jumping on this call and meeting with you guys, I was, my boyfriend and I, past pot, we were watching David Guetta live from Miami, and he's raising money for Feeding America as well. So there's there's not only he's everything that he's raising, he's matching apparently. So it's like super cool. So, you know, there's a lot of good people with great hearts that are in this together. And it's just amazing to see and hear about the stories of compassion and how everybody's banding together to try to figure out solutions for a very scary, uncertain, and confusing time. And, you know, that being said, something Sensi is doing, it, you know, is a program that we put together. It's called sensicares.org. And, you know, it's just a program, you know, to help provide as much value to our existing partners and clients, as well as, you know, what we can do to help our cannabis community and small business owners. And, you know, that just launched literally just the other day. And Jared, you know, you were talking about what you're doing with chronic relief, and I'd love to speak with you more about getting involved with Sensi Cares as well, so we can help cross promote. But, you know, the whole point is, and what's great to see, especially with chronic relief, is that, you know, there are these groups across the country and across the world, other cannabis groups. You know, we've got Digital Sesh that's coming up. We've got the 420 Icon that Chloe Villano put together that, you know, has also partnered along with chronic relief. And it's everybody's cross promoting and just trying to help bring awareness to the table for all the causes, because no matter what, every bit helps. So, you know, and again, I'm grateful to be part of it. You know, we were hit hard too. And, you know, I'm so proud and honored to work amongst the people that I do. We're all still coming to the table hard, grinding and hustling, because we know when this ends and gets better, when we come out of it, you know, we want to come out stronger and ahead of the curve, not behind the curve. So it's, you know, better to do it with, you know, more heads than one.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Oh, thank you all for those kind words. And thank you, David, for involving us all and spearheaded all that amazing, you know, energy and positive vibes to put it towards something as positive as that, you know, to use your platform and your influence and inspiring us to do the same is very big. Thank you, brother.
Thank you. And, you know, I'm proud to announce that we have some friends too that are going to join us. Whoopi Goldberg is joining us. Tommy Chong jumping on board to, you know, say a great message to raise more money. Montel Williams, our friend Ricky Williams and his wife did a great, you know what I mean, message. And Robert Griffin III, and we started getting musical Naco Bear, Jacques Kings, Paul from Slightly Stupid, Jeff from Thievery Corporation. Got some real old school, you know, good old Heart, Roger Fisher from Heart, and Blake Lewis. Thank you, man. You put together our theme song, and I'm telling you, you're going to hear it, and it's going to be so darn catchy. You know what I mean? We got to start a dance for it. So I might need some of my New York friends. And of course, you know, to me too, all of the cannabis activists, right? Without them, without the media companies, without the event companies to set up the platform for everybody to do business and meet each other and do that, it's so huge. You know what I mean? And that's the first people we reached out to. And that's why our reach is at 22 million social media together, because everybody just said, you know what, we'll send this message out. And now that we have like some great names and, you know, also nonprofits, NDICA, Cannabis Alliance right here in Washington, Last Prisoner Project, Canna Kids, Riley Sunshine. I love Riley. Big shout out to her. She's amazing. Got her grandma stoned in New York for the first time ever. She was 80 years old and she still talks about it. She's like, that David. We got some chefs too that are gonna, you know, show people how to cook, you know, and like they're wonderful chefs, Sebastian, Rudy, and Chef Nikki, real acclaimed, wonderful, great people. And then just a list of just the greatest, to me, connectors, and that's our media companies, and they're our partners, and they've done so much for us. This is the least we can do, and it's not about what we're doing. We're just setting a platform so that everyone can tell their message and everyone has something to say, and it's going to be powerful. It's going to be entertaining because we know cool ass people, and you know what I mean? We're gonna, you know what I mean? It's going to be a celebration. So, and we'll raise some money for sure.
Yeah, I wanted to say too, you know, so James, Dave's business partner with Farechild, who also works with me at Wick Mortar, one of my closest friends, including Dave. In fact, Dave and James and I have known each other for like 20 years.
You guys are the Seattle icons, man. You guys hold the torch over there. Well,
so the funny thing is that in my entire career of branding, at least over the last 8 to 10 years in the cannabis space, you know, I've told people for the longest time not to use green in their logo, not to use punny words, and not to put pot leaves in the logo. And when we built the brand for Chronic Relief, we obviously had finally that one reason to go completely against the grain, because for the first time ever, it made sense to use the cross and the pot leaf and the green, because, you know, this is exactly what that symbol signifies.
You wanted to make sure there was no mixed signals with this message, huh, Jared?
Well, this is designed to cater to, you know, people who have no idea what the cannabis industry is like. And this is finally an introduction to the lifestyle and those that support this industry from, you know, the inside out. And I think that's what's going to be beautiful about this. We've got, you know, what Harry was talking about earlier. This is now to the world seen as an essential item. That's fucking awesome.
That was one of my questions I had for you guys, like, but I was going to take a different take on it. And the take I was going to take on it, guys, and I want to ask you guys, because as you know, Dave and Jared and Harry, you know, Steve D'Angelo and those people, and they're good friends of mine, you know, we work together a lot. And it's like, what about the person that's sitting in jail for cannabis, turns on the news during these horrible times and sees that cannabis is deemed essential and corporate people are profiting off of it while they're incarcerated?
Yeah. You know, that's why we're working with that. I mean, we have organizations like Last Prisoner Project.
Don't get me wrong, it's a major milestone that it is essential, but you know, I'm just trying to not forget the soldier, the fallen soldiers and the still the human, you know, we got no soldier left behind, you know, I'm just putting it all in perspective.
Yeah, I spoke earlier to Stephanie, and with Freedom, a gentleman named Scott Lambert just introduced me. I jumped on the phone with her, and she was a old lady. She's been incarcerated for cannabis, and so she has an organization, a nonprofit, and I have the name Freedom I'll provide it a little bit later, but you know, she's been providing commissary money. She's just like, you know what, if you're in jail, you need commissary money. And so she's been doing this advocacy for a very long time. And she was on Vice and whatnot. And we just got to talking and we just got to know each other. And she realizes, you know, how hard it is. And we talked about, like, you know, the lives that really got changed during that time for a plant, right? And it was just a reason to just, you know, and no one makes it out of there if you walk through those doors, right? It changes your life somehow, and to think about the lives that could have been saved. But, you know, what we can do at least right now is change those wrongs right now. Let's remove that. Let's, you know what I mean? Get those folks out of jail right now, because it's the right thing to do. Non-violent offenses, that just makes a lot of sense. And I'm just happy that Last Prisoner Project and, you know, Stephanie, dear Stephanie, she has that platform too to help that out. So
well, one thing is, because of organizations like Last Prisoner Project and this young lady you just mentioned, they have been releasing a lot of non-violent and kind of people that are doing time for cannabis and stuff like that. It has that awareness has made a difference. What do the rest of you guys think about this matter?
I mean, I think honestly, I mean, it's nuts. I mean, I've reached out. I've actually been in contact with Mary from Last Prisoner Project, that we met at the fundraiser at your place, and yeah, I mean, it's nuts how we all get to have a whole living based on this plant. And I mean, there's people in jail for one plant, you know, and they're there for 20 years. 20 years for, I mean, and you know, people do so many much worse things in life, and they walk out of court, or they walk out of jail in a year, and you know, and they haven't hurt anybody. I mean, look, I live in Georgia, man. I mean, this is the private prison capital.
The Bible Belt
and the private prison capital, you know. But you know, they don't, you know, they're serious about it here. You know, it'll be a minute before it gets here, but you know, it's crazy and it's unfair. And I mean, the good thing is I did see that they're letting some nonviolent offenders out now because of the whole COVID thing. So it's crazy that that's what it took, you know, to take nonviolent people out of jail. But, you know, I mean, look, every little bit, I mean, look, again, even just the 5 years I've been here, we've made so much progress in so many places and so many legalities, and even Steve's group has gotten so many people, you know, liberated, and to the point, and the detention. And so, I mean, you know, we're making progress. And I personally think that when this whole thing is over and all these states need money, they're going to look at the states that are not hurting as bad, and it's going to be the ones that were able to keep this essential business open, which they kept open because there was a lot of money in it, you know. And so hopefully that's going to help us spread this legalization across the country when this is all over. You know, because they're going to realize what they need, and even the federal government is going to realize that there's this, you know, they're just writing checks anyway, so they're going to have to pay for it somehow. This will be hopefully they'll realize this is the way, and you know, all this will come to a change, and they'll, you know, I mean, all these people have been let out of all these states, where, you know, in California they get a lot of those people out, and all these other states, whenever they go legal, you know, so many people get released. So, I mean, it's progress, but still crazy.
Freedom Grow is the organization.
Freedom Grow.
Yeah, and I saw her YouTube Vice story, and it was pretty powerful. So
how about you, Abby and Jared? What do you guys think about that topic?
Well, you know, I feel like it's great that we're making the little progress that we are. I think that there's a lot of more progress to be made. But it's not just with the prison systems, although that's a huge, one huge vertical that we need to, look at. And we've got other groups like Normal that are also, making strides towards that. But then we have, the veterans and their rights and being able to use it medically. Then we've got workers' rights, and it varies state by state, not to be tested, not to use cannabis as a pre-testing or getting that knocked away from pre-testing requirements, so on and so forth. And that's something that was passed in Nevada. But again, that varies state by state. It's all about our overall rights with cannabis. And 420 is all about. It's celebrating, how far we've come. but it's also taking a very hard look at how far we have to go. And with us being in the middle of this pandemic, it gives us a chance to collectively take a break. I mean, in a way, you have to look at this as that it's not a terrible thing. Maybe this is a good thing that we're all stuck in our houses, only being able to smoke, and taking the time to be mindful and think about our next steps as an industry, because I truly believe, and I've always believed, that it's going to be cannabis that saves the world.
Agreed.
So,
Agreed.
This is literally the time that the world is all on pause and we're listening. And so this is our time to lead. We can save the world. We just have to figure out all the ways to do it so that it serves everybody's rights. So.
And it's good you mentioned something very important that I forgot to touch on. It is state by state, guys, about essential, because New York deemed it non-essential. Now, last but not least, let's talk to the man, the myth, the legend, Jared, and what he thinks about this topic.
I mean, honestly, after what Harry, Dave, and Abby had to say, I don't really know what more I can cover. I mean, I can tell you this, and Dave will agree, I don't think it's rained here in Seattle in a really long time, which is very odd because it's not supposed to be this sunny out right now, this frequent. So you have to wonder, is it because there's less pollution in the air and there's just less shit everywhere, that our planet is, finally healing? I mean, dolphins are swimming in the canals of Italy, and I mean, it's pretty awesome. So that to me is impressive. But I also want to say, thank you, Dave, for putting so much hard work into what you've been building there with James. And I mean, you guys have been spending literally every second of every day working on this thing. And I just wanted to say personally, thank you for doing this. I think we all owe a big thanks to Dave and James at Farechild for, putting this together, because it serves, not just a purpose that, helps make the industry we've all helped pioneer, but grow, but rather it shows how we're helping a world organization by using the cannabis industry's influence. And so you should be very proud of yourself. And thank you again for joining the mentor team at High Grade Hope. And I'm super stoked to get that going.
It's not about me, it's about everybody, really, like the collective, and like everybody that's doing this. And like you talked about freedom, Abby, this is what it's always about. For 27 years, 420 always meant about freedom. I always felt free. I've always felt like this was and we're going to do the same thing, and we're going to do it with a lot more people, and we're going to do it behind a really united message that bonds all of us, that we can all relate to. And I appreciate, look at, these are great. You guys are, again, so passionate. Like the collective is so passionate about what we do that we're going to bring that energy to the event and all of the people that are in there. And it's just, there's going to be such incredible surprises throughout the whole show. You know what I mean? We're going to do a tribute to, Charlotte, and, make sure that we do like some things that talk about what's been going on, and, the people that we should be thanking. And I think everyone you'll see is being very thankful right now. And the message that we're getting are ones of, helping. And I think that's what it's all about. And I can't do it without all of you guys, and, at all. This wouldn't be anything if you guys just didn't say right away, cool guys, you got it. Okay, good. I trust you guys will do this. And you guys always did that. That's just, to me, like, that's all heart. And we can share that with each other. Now we have this huge network of 22 million, this thing that everyone is going to be a part of, this giving piece back to them. When we send them that check, all of us are going to be a piece of that. And that's going to feel really good during this time. And it's going to give us the energy and all of the thing that we need to continue to move the business forward with the people that we've now solidified relationships with. So
I want to talk about, guys, take it back to a more positive time, and also so the world can get an understanding of how these amazing relationships get built inside the cannabis industry. And I want to start by taking it back to this 2019 MJ Biz, when I met Abby, solidify my relationships with you guys, so these people can understand how these amazing moments is what makes it so comfortable for us to feel comfortable to call each other and to support each other. And by the way, you know, the best party hands down was of course Farechild, you know? I want to talk about that. You know what I mean? That's when I met Abby, you know, Happy Munkey had a little after party, everybody stopped by. So I want to talk about how, so people can understand that during these moments and these events is how you solidify and you create these bonds that we have here.
Yeah. Oh, you want me to start?
Yeah, go ahead. You're the event king of the industry. Come on.
So listen, Vlad, this is kind of the way it goes, you know, a lot of the times is I heard of Vlad from my sister who went to New York, smoked weed with some dude on the streets. That was fucking really, really, really cool. And you gotta meet him, Dave. Then all of a sudden some other friend intersected with the text and all of a sudden it just came about, and now all of a sudden we met at last year's, not this year's, golden ticket at
yes.
And that's where I saw you. That's where we really kicked off this great relationship. And I've been to the Happy Munkey every time I go to New York. That's my stop. You know what I mean? Everyone shows so much love and is so open, and you guys have always been that way. And you know, I've always felt welcome when I've been over to New York. So that's really what this is incredible how it all started by just, again, my sister out of everyone in New York.
Yes.
Smoking a joint with the cool guy. And then now we're sitting here years later and you're doing something so incredible. And you're just like, again, you have that voice over there and you're original. And I think that's what people need to hear. And you set platforms like this, you know, it's such an important thing for all of us, and I'm really hopeful that, you know, all of these minds continue to utilize and leverage our strength together to continue to move on and continue to build.
So yeah, because like I said, you know what I mean, I feel like it's important for people to know that these events and these moments, I think that are unique in the cannabis industry because it's smaller than other industries where we connect in person at these different moments and different events, and that's what really creates that bond, that energy, and that vibe. How about you, Jared? What's your story of how you found out about the monkey?
I found about the monkey? Well, gosh, I think it all goes back to a conference I was at in New York when someone told me about this place on a street and through a door, up a freight elevator, through another door. I'm like, we go up. I mean, it was crazy. We go up, we stop at the first floor, the second floor, and it's a restaurant. People are getting out, and then you go up to the next floor, I believe. And then I was like, holy shit, I just walked into my paradise. You know, when you think of, you know, what the Happy Munkey is, when someone explains it to you, it's not at all what it is when you go inside. And that's when I met you, Vlad, for the first time. And yeah, it was awesome. And I think I've been back there now, what, 5 times now? Every time I'm in New York, I'm there. Yeah.
Gotta stop by. You know?
Great. No, I love that place.
How about you, Harry?
Oh, we got introduced. You and I got introduced by Deborah from Arcview.
Yes.
The year before, the same year that we all went to that golden ticket together.
MJ Biz, right?
Yeah, MJ Biz, and yeah, but I had the suite that year, and yeah, Vlad and David and Ramon and all them, we basically went out and closed down the clubs every night. We basically went to the room, we hung out, we went back to the club, we went back to the room, it was like being in New York. We went out, we basically had Happy Munkey in Vegas, you know, and then you told me about Happy Munkey, and I never went there I actually didn't go until you went also, Jared. It's funny enough, for that same trip. I had gone a couple days before you got there, but it was funny because you had told me about it, and yeah, there was, to this day, there's just no way to describe it to people. There's like, when I would leave there and come back to Georgia of all places, and they're looking at my pictures, they're like, where are you meeting these people at? I'm like, I don't know, it's this place. It's a place in the industry. And, you know, I come back from like, oh, you're hanging out with Ricky Williams in Vegas? Like, you know, he was, you know, he just came by, you know, it's just what happens. And, you know, all these people know each other, and, you know, but no, the Happy Munkey. I'm just excited I got to run my pin tonight, man. I've been I've been jonesing for my Happy Munkey pit. You know, it's like
It's great.
it's such a great place, and it's like celebrities, athletes, entertainers, you know, and just the regular Joe, and they can sit there together and pass to each other, and there's no levels. And again, it's the Canna fam, you know, we're all one. That plant just unites us all, and it's amazing. You know,
My saying is your vibe attracts your tribe, and cannabis is the great equalizer. Now, Abby, you never actually got to come to the Happy Munkey, but you did get I believe you came to the after party in Vegas, right?
Yes. And I'm so like, with what everybody says about Happy Munkey in New York, it's like, it's almost like Alice in Wonderland, or, you know, like I'm so excited when I take my first trip to New York that I'll be able, that's going to be one of my first trips. We should make.
You've never been to New York, Abby?
No.
No, we're gonna have to change that fast.
So I have my whole list of things I want to do, and instead of like that movie Get Him to the Greek, it's gonna get Abby to the monkey, or you know.
That's a good one, dude. Nice.
Cross country experience, leaving Las Vegas. It'll be great. But no, I met
you guys
at it was at MJ BizCon, and I was invited. It was after the Cannabis Business Awards.
Yes.
Had
and you won an award, which I remember. Congratulations.
Yeah, I showed up on your doorstep, still holding it too. I mean, how often do you get to be awarded, and you know, full gown, head to toe, glitter and glam, and you know, on behalf of the entire cannabis industry, in front of exactly what you're saying, Harry, you know, celebrities and entertainers and influencers, advocates and leaders from the industry. And what an honor. I did everything that I could not to cry in front of everyone. Mm-hmm. It's, you know, it's a freaking stoner's dream come true, you know, just to be recognized, you know, by your people. But then that being said, then I get the invite for Happy Munkey, and you guys are like freaking, you know, one of the best kept not secrets. And you know, like everybody talks about your parties and what you guys do and how much fun you are. So it was so much fun. We met so many people. I was there hanging with the Pop Brothers at Law, and you know, just chilling. And just like you guys said, it's Canna fam. So that's how we met, and I can't wait for, you know, future events. And you know, and I love that you brought this up, because it does, you know, this is great what we're doing now. We're finding ways, everything's figure outable, ways around, you know, being able to communicate, which is, you know, the heart and soul of relationships and, you know, in business. But it's that face-to-face communication and these events that really do bring our community together. And our events are like no other because of the heart in our community and our Canna family. You know, I love where we're at as a culture and a community so much right now, and it's gratitude all around every single morning. So,
well, I want to tell you publicly in front of the whole world that whenever you come to New York, I'm sure you get the red carpet everywhere you go, Abby, but I'm the only one that can provide the green carpet.
Nice.
I've been waiting for you when you come.
Sweet.
Hey, Vlad, you remember giving this to me?
Of course. You're my best brand ambassador I have. Come on, man. You're my #1 brand ambassador in the country, Jared. Come on.
I appreciate you, man.
Now, I got an interesting one, because we got to stay positive and optimistic, and I'm really interested in hearing the answer from all you guys, because you guys have all been through so much and have your own experiences. I want to know from each one of you guys your most memorable smoking experience. Whatever, like, you know, like that one crazy time. Start with you, Mr. David, the Tranimal, the Chronicles.
I'd like to say that the most memorable time would be the first time behind 7-Eleven with a can. But that can't be usually the story, right? But no, you know, when I first started getting into cannabis, there was Hemp Fest, right? It was one of the first festivals.
I still haven't been. I'm dying to go. I was supposed to go this year, David.
Oh, it was so grassroots, and this was like freaking 94, 95, you know what I mean? When they started doing it, and they filled this whole park up, and you know, me and my friends were just such like stoners at that period. So we're just like, and my friend was like this guy who made like stuff out of plastic. So he made this like 8-foot bong, and we would like carry it down like in a thing, place it right in the middle of this hemp fest. And we just really torched up, just like so many people lining up these 8-footers. So I always remember that scene. I always think about that scene growing up and how wonderful it was to just smoke everybody out, you know, and in the community. And like, it was just so raw. It was an amazing memory.
Now, you, Mr. Jared, tell us about your craziest cannabis memorable experience.
Are we talking about good memories or bad
Yeah,
memories?
whatever. Just like something memorable that's like, I mean, whatever, you know, one that sticks with you that you always remember, you know, that's.
Oh, man. Only Dave will know who this brand is, but back in the medical days, we're talking like 8 years ago, 7 years ago, there's a brand called Captain Cosmics.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a medical brand.
And it was a brand that was actually referred to us by Dope.
Yeah.
And we were working with them, and they wanted us to basically elevate their brand to take them from the medical market eventually into the recreational market. And I remember they gave me a brownie, and this was before brands realized that, you know, lower doses were better. And I obviously knew that, but you know, I'm like, okay, it's like a concentrate version of an edible. So it was 1,000 milligrams. It was called their beast mode brownie.
I remember that. I remember those brownies. Korova had some like that.
So I only bit just a little corner, but I swear all of the THC was
Must have been in that corner.
Because I mean, it was like not even a quarter of the thing. It was just like a little chunk of the corner. So I woke up the next morning feeling sicker than I've ever felt. And honestly, it had turned me off of edibles for many, many years. Even after I'd been in the cannabis industry for a long time, I was like, nope, not gonna do it. I don't think it's for me. That was my first experience. But I remember having to wake up at 8 a.m. and drag my ass to a hair salon because I had made this gal go in on her day off to cut my hair. So I was like, all right, I'm not going to do this to her. So I went in, she didn't even show up. So anyways, came back home, I just felt sick.
That sounds like
interesting. I know this brownie company. I know it won the THC, like most like potent one, and they're just like so proud of it. But my partner Nathan too, I think he ate half of it, and I think he ended up pulling over on the freeway, like kind of like having to stop and like pull over. That was how strong it was. So the beast brownie, stay away from it.
Stay away. Well, yeah.
Well, it's.
Oh man,
that was an interesting story. Now, Abby, tell us about your crazy cannabis adventure.
Oh man, see, I'm so like, I compartmentalize everything. I've got my favorite smoke time. I've got my favorite edible time, or not favorite, most.
Whatever's most memorable for you, that's what it is. There's no right or wrong answer, you know, it's just
well, Jared, you just said edible not too long ago, actually, and this was my own bad. I was at an event, and they had edibles there, and it was marked. There was a sign there. I'm sure there was. I just didn't see it, and I picked up the most delicious cookies that I've ever had in my life. And I, before it had like, I don't know, 4 of them. And at the very end of the event, I'm like, dang, like this is weird. I'm really feeling it right now, but what is it? Like, all I've had is some cookies, and I was doing dabs and other things. Well, then I start going home, and I pull up to a stop sign. Before you know it, I'm sitting there waiting for it to turn green. And I'm like, what is going on? And just, I was just completely gone. And by the time I got home, I it was like I almost got sick. One of the most scariest times that I've ever been high. But then there was the time I was on the volcano, and I got into my car, and I decided, nope, I don't know where I'm at, even though I was holding my cell phone that had map access and all of that. So, but I did not drive. I made sure to, do the responsible thing and sit there for a half an hour until I cooled off. So there's been times like that. I could go even back further, because I've been smoking since I was 15 years old, even though I only recommend now 21 and up. So.
It's all right. I was smoking since I was like 12. It's okay.
No, yeah, I've been supporting cannabis for most of my life now. So I've got lots of stories, and I'm surprised that I even remember as many as I do. So
now, thank you for sharing. Now, last but not least, Harry, tell us about one of your cannabis soirees.
Well, I mean, if you're gonna make me go last, I gotta give a good one then, right?
Of course. You can't always say the best for last.
Fine. Well, you know, when I was 21, I went to go see a friend of mine in Spain for foreign exchange, and I flew through Amsterdam back and forth. So on the way back, I stayed over in Amsterdam for one night. Now, when I was in Spain, my friend couldn't get weed, he could get hash. So we would do hash with with tobacco. So I smoked that for like a week. I got to Amsterdam, haven't smoked weed in a week. You know, this is, 1997. So what we had here was nothing like they had in Amsterdam. So I go to Amsterdam. I go to this coffee shop where they have these buds. Okay, I'll never forget this. It was called Super Skunk off the menu, Super Skunk, and it had little, the cannabis leaf. It was on the bud. I've never to this day seen this. It was little bud leaves all over the buds. And I proceeded to smoke this. I remember people were sitting there. It was so cool because I'd never been anywhere like that. It was like it was what Happy Munkey, 20 years ago is what Happy Munkey 20 years ago. Seriously, because it was Dr. Dre playing on the radio. I remember on the jukebox, people were, and they had to cut the weed up for me just to be able to smoke it. And I got so stoned. I walked around Amsterdam lost for like an hour until I ended up at this crazy bar. It got all crazy. I ended up finally finding McDonald's, and it was like, thank goodness, McDonald's. Got back to my hotel room and straightened out, and then went back out later that night and ended up at a place where I got my first hash coffee, which was interesting. They made hash coffee because they were out of hash brownies, which is probably a good thing based on the story that you guys were telling. And, yeah. But yeah, no, it's a crazy plant. That's the last I was in Amsterdam though. I'd like to go back there one day. That'd be interesting for sure. So, but we have enough choices here. There's no reason to go all the way over there anymore. So I'd rather go to Vegas and Seattle. So that's much more fun, and New York, obviously. So
I have the same story, Harry.
Do you?
Oh yeah, Amsterdam. Good old Amsterdam.
Coffee shop, man.
Amazing.
Yeah.
It's funny that you said McDonald's too. I was like, oh wow.
Yeah, no.
I think we ate
I remember it was called the Big Menu. I remember I was so excited. I remember finally getting to this place, and the crazy part I remember was that I had a big Coke, and all of their cabs were Mercedes, and the cab driver wouldn't let me into the cab until I proved to him that I hadn't punctured the Coke, because they were so good about. They had so much money in this city because they were taxing all these different things that even the cabs were like brand new cars and just. But yeah, that was a cool city for sure. It was beautiful.
Yeah, I was on mushrooms, and when I went to McDonald's, I got a fillet of fish, and I just sat there. I was like, this is the best piece of food I've ever eaten. I'm like tripping out. I'm like, what's going on? I'm
everything,
on the cobblestones of Amsterdam.
Everything
like,
tastes better when you're high.
Oh my goodness, it was like. And they're just like they're just like, okay, it's just a fillet of fish, dude.
Guys, now my next question, is very important because I want to know your opinion, since you guys are all cannabis experts in your own way. See, my perspective and my opinion is, as a whole society, this is gonna be like, the way they have in the Bible, BC and AD, it's gonna be like pre-COVID, post-COVID. It's going to be two different worlds. So my question to all you guys is, what does post-COVID look like in the cannabis industry compared to how it was pre-COVID? I believe that this is like a time where it's going to separate everything in society, but it's only asking about the cannabis industry. Start with you, Mr. Jared, the marketing guru.
Start with Dave. I actually want to hear his story.
How do you do that? No, I was gonna say, can someone go first? Because Abby's so good. I'm gonna be so embarrassed going after.
All right, Abby, they're scared. Why don't you go first?
No,
Abby?
don't let Abby go first. She's gonna kill it for all of us. She's just gonna do good. Seriously, you literally belong on camera. You are just great at what you do. You are.
Well, I mean, thank you guys. I kind of touched upon it earlier. You know, my idea of post-COVID, honestly, is, you know, us being looked at as the industry that saves the world. I know it's like that, you know, beauty pageant, oh, world peace, like idea, but I honestly, truly feel that, you know, cannabis has made this comeback for a reason. Everything happens for a reason. And we've got this emerging market that literally touches all parts and aspects of life, whether it's medicine, whether it's, you know, sustainable, you know, building products and hempcrete and, you know, things, replacing plastics and things like that, which is all possible in textile goods and beauty products, you know, hemp and cannabis, and it is all part of our entire ecosystem. And has been for years and years. It's just finally reemerging. And, you know, unfortunately, where we're at, and, you know, this in reality, we, fortunately and unfortunately, you know, it's all about business. But it's what I love about the cannabis industry is the heart behind our business and our industry. There are so many people in this industry for the right reasons. And it's that heart and soul connection. Doing it for the good, doing it for the medicinal benefits, knowing that it can heal and change the world. You know, that's where I see us going. So we have to rally together, stronger, stand up more in politics and advocacy, and just make sure that we're defending people's rights. It's all about rights, our rights and our freedoms, like Dave was saying earlier. And you know, honestly, and coming from media, it's spreading the good word and making sure it's not any false information or fake news or anything like that. You know, it's making sure that we're putting out the right information and that we're all on the same page. So it's through these collaborations that, you know, that helps us stay on that same page. So yeah, that's my direction. Sorry for that soapbox moment.
No, it's okay. Thank you for those kind words.
You want me to go, Jared?
Okay.
I'll go, Jared.
No, I'll go. It's fine. It's all right. Well, you know, I think a lot to, you know, Abby's point, there are a lot of, you know, things that will emerge, you know, from, let's call it the wreckage, so to speak, you know, with so much awareness surrounding, you know, cannabis and so much, and there being so much that the cannabis industry is able to do and is doing. You know, with this with this opportunity, I think that's going to leave a huge wake. And I also feel like, given the fact that what we're looking at is quite possibly a recession-proof industry, that's also going to create a lot of rumbling in, you know, the back office, if you will. And I am certain that they're probably going to be rethinking and relooking at, you know, what the state of the industry should look like moving forward. So I'm hopeful about that, but I don't know. I mean, it's really hard to say, you know. I can't read the future, but
it's just an opinion. There's no right or wrong opinions, you know.
No, I understand. Yeah, you know, it's just hard to say. You know, I do feel like there are also going to be a tremendous amount of people emerging from, you know, what was once, you know, a job to perhaps something that is now a career in more of the entrepreneurial vein. And I also feel like people are going to be far more creative and spend more time, you know, thinking about, you know, how to better themselves, you know, eat better, you know, save better. You know, this is an opportunity of reflection. And I think as we all immerse, you know, after, you know, this situation is, you know, settled, we're all going to be different people. And I'm really excited about the outcome and honestly, the relationships that, you know, we'll all have coming into, you know, what will be the new world much stronger.
Thank you for those kind words, Jared. That was pretty good. Now, how about you, Mr. David? Let's see your take on it.
Well, I mean, it's hard to, you know, to say that, you know, everyone is pretty much going to be affected by it. Everyone down the line. And, you know, right now it's just a matter of, you know, what are you using your time for right now? Are you fine tuning your message? Are you fine tuning yourself? Are you getting yourself mentally ready for it? This is a tough time. This is creating some tough people who are going to have to go through these new ways to do things, and how we can adapt to it. So I think, going out of this, it's going to be much more difficult. There's not going to be the capital market. So you're really going to have to build your companies lean, mean. Your reputation always matters. This is kind of more in a time like this, you know what I mean? It's always good to have a good reputation, always, but during these times, the collaborations start to matter because as we start to create a new, industry, per se, you know what I mean? We're still going to be affected by everything that's happening in general in the world, the people around us who are getting affected. So needless to say, I agree with you. I can't really predict how that's going to come out, but the truth is right now we just have to do our job to stay safe. Let's kind of stop this pandemic right now. That has to be like kind of point number one. We have to stop this somehow, and we got to follow some of those rules. We got to, you know what I mean? I don't love that. This is the hardest thing for me, not to go out there and see people and touch people. That's all my life has been for the last 8 years, and now I don't get to do it, but I just love to, realizing too, like resetting and being at home and getting things into perspective of why we're doing this, and also just fine-tuning us, like our value is in what we know and how we can get better at it. And this is just another way for us to learn how to move through this time period, and the people that make it through this and this tough time period, I think are going to find their way to some success. Cannabis is still there. Cannabis is growing. Cannabis is just getting started. But the truth is, this is already hard business that's not supported by anything like the government or any of these type of things. You know what I mean? It makes it harder. So to me, hopefully in this election year, we'll start talking about like how we can allow these companies to make some money so that they can stay around, so they can build more things, employ more people. There's a lot of different things, but at the same time too, have those standards that we all kind of hold, because it is a medicine and people are going to take it. We want it to be safe too, because you can see how, a vape crisis and these type of things can really take it out. So hopefully, you know what I mean? To me, I would like to say it's temporary, but the real truth is, it's just like, we just have to still hold on. We have to, continue to change some of our, the habits, because the values aren't, there. So.
Thank you for those kind words, David. We appreciate it. We need all the knowledge we can right now to even imagine what the future looks like. Last but not least, Harry.
I mean, to follow legends like this.
Listen, there's no right or wrong answers and opinions.
I was going to raise my hand so I go for David, because, I mean, come on. But I mean, you all kind of said it, for the most part. I think that, I think this is a period of kind of reevaluating what's important. And I mean, I know me and my wife have been doing that a lot lately. I mean, we've been here for over 30 days now with my kids, and and look, I'm very thankful for all the time I get with my family, and it's amazing to get to see my kids and they're all safe, and I'm thankful for that. And I'm thankful to all my friends and our industry friends, and I haven't heard of any issues, and everybody seems to be healthy. And and what I've seen from this is, it's amazing, because this is what I've seen. What we're doing right here is that all these networks, we've seen each other for years at these shows and all these places. I mean, good gracious, Dave, how many cities and places we flip and hug it and put in? Like, good gracious, man. I mean, I still remember our first night together. With being in the we were in a car with me and you and Alejandro and Marco, and you gave a speech talking about how me and my speeches. you were like, I remember.
A few of those in my time too.
You were like, everybody here chose their fate, and that's what we're all doing now. Is we're choosing our fate to be together and take this network that we've all built and just make it stronger. And so when we do get out of this, it's right. We're not going to sit here idle and just, commiserate. We're going to take it and we're going to build our network stronger, because eventually this is going to end and we're all going to get to share joints together. And even if we don't pass them, that's fine. I also think joints are going to weed's going to become like wine, where we'll break it up and we'll roll out little things, instead of maybe passing it around, if that's what it takes. We'll still get to share, but we all miss our hugs. This industry is hugs. Everybody gives hugs, and that's where I hope we get back to one day. But like David said too, we got a minute for that. You know, people got to stay safe and healthy and get through this period. Hopefully, you know, the world can come together and not be America and Iran and China and this and that. And maybe we can just be all one and figure out this answer. And, you know, if this is it, and what Abi said also, forget it. I mean, hemp and cannabis I mean, finally we'll get some recognition. And, you know, it'll be one of those things that actually help people through this crisis. You know, I mean, how many people are going to be able to not have to freak out because they have their cannabis, not having to resort to drinking, you know, and going back.
Toilet paper, y'all.
I said that. I said that also. I was talking to Chloe the other day, and I was like, geez, imagine if you could make hemp toilet paper and hemp masks right now. Good gracious, you'd be just save the world, you know, especially, you know, at least, you know, America. But yeah, I mean, I think we just need to, hopefully we come back strong like we are. And again, I think the thing we're doing on Monday is amazing. You know, Dave putting that together is amazing, and Jared and everybody, and Jared's thing that you're doing, and even this, you know, just what you're doing, Vlad, and putting everybody together just to keep it together, and so we all don't feel like we're missing out on 420, that's our whole life. That's what we work for every year. You know, we're all going to hug in a week, you know, and we already talked. We were going to have all the parties and everything all set up this year, just like we did in December, and, you know, but it'll come, it will get there, and, you know, hopefully we'll all come out stronger, hopefully, and we'll help elevate people along the way. That'll be the cool part of it. So.
Thank you for those kind words. Of course, we will come out stronger. Well, my opinion, guys, as far as the industry, is that this is going to, you know, pre-Rona, post-Rona, it's going to put the industry through a filter. And unfortunately, everybody won't come out to the other side. But I think that the positive part about that, like Abi mentioned earlier, the people that were not in this for the right reasons, the people that were just in it to just come take from the tree and leave and dash, I believe a lot of those people won't make it through, but I believe the real people that are really here for the right reasons, the intentions will come out even better on the other side. And like I was talking, as far as like a society as a whole, I was talking with a friend earlier, and I was saying that hopefully people understand one thing. I hope it brings humility and humanity more when things go back to normal. A lot of people feel inadequate because they don't have superficial things, luxury things, etc., etc. Hope everybody realizes now that none of that stuff matters. The only thing that matters is the roof over your head, your refrigerator being full, your family, your friends, and now, like, you know, it just brought everybody down to the core of what is really important and what's to prioritize in life. And I just hope that after this, people still hold that humanity and understand that the things that really matter in life have nothing to do with all these superficial things, because it's an example right now that none of them are relevant and everybody's just worried about the important things that I just mentioned.
I love that, Vlad. And I would just want to add, you know, what also is important is if we have all those things, if we are fortunate enough to have the roof over our head, to have that full refrigerator, you know, if you're lucky enough to still have a job that's producing income at this time, you know, you're lucky, because there's many, many, many of us out there that don't have these things or don't have a combination of these things. And I mean, it has really put everybody on full tilt. Not just in our communities, not just in our states, not even just in our nation. It's all around the world. And it's really just like opening up our minds and you know, putting ourselves in many other people's shoes and realizing, you know, the impact that we can make, all coming together and just trying to help the cause.
No, definitely. Thank you for those kind words. Now, guys, it's time for the $1 million question. I always ask everybody that's come on Happy Hour, and I'm really interested in hearing all your answers. The question is, guys, if you had to describe Happy Munkey, the brand, the movement, the place, anything you know about it, what it embodies in one word, what would it be and why? Let's start with David.
Oh, it's probably like the highest place on earth.
That's a lot of words, but we're gonna take it from you, David. Why the highest place on earth, David?
No, it's the happiest place on earth. You know what I mean? It's like a really just a fun, sanctuary. Is this a PSA or just like you want to state?
No, just like whatever you feel. This is Happy Hour with Vlad. This isn't Barbara Walters 2020.
It is so New York. I mean, to me, it's just quintessential New York hospitality. You know what I mean? And really, again, a place that just across, includes everybody, doesn't matter who you are. And that's just that place. And, I think that's the plant's been doing that for a long time for us. And you continue to kind of like build that, mentality, right when you walk in, and I see the smiles and I see that, and I love hospitality. You know what I mean? That's what I love. I see like hospitality. I want to see if everyone's doing a good job, and that's what I think you feel when you're in there. Is everyone doing good? Are you cool? Are you cool? And you know what I mean? And I start getting into that mode too, where I think people are like, what's up? Here's this. So, I've had some historical moments. I mean, someone, just sent me a picture of us at Happy Munkey just now. It's like, hey man, check this out. And so a lot of good memories, a lot of good times.
Thank you for those kind words. Harry, I want to know what your one word would be and why.
I mean, there's so many words. It's cannabis nirvana, man. It's
why cannabis nirvana?
Because it's freedom. You go there. You go there and you just hang with people. It's the only place that we've ever had to go indoors and mingle with other people and not be judged or looked at or treated any differently, and you were welcomed, and everybody was just family, and and the world came. Again, the world. I've never seen so many different walks of life in one place, shaking hands and hugging and hanging out in happiness, over because of the plant. Again, the plant that unites. We get it. We just have to teach the world. It unites. You were the beta. Happy Munkey was the beta for the world. That's it. We figured it out. Okay, it works. All walks of life can unite in Happy Munkey because of the plant. And now we just have to show the rest of the world that that's how it works. That's my 2 cents.
Thank you. That was amazing. Mr. Jared, how about you? I'm leaving Abby for last, and she hasn't been there. She just has to go off of what she heard. So that's why I'm leaving Abby for last. How about you, Jared?
You're talking to a branding guy, so I've got
There's one word. You got to know. You just got to.
No, they're one word. That's one word. It's just I have 3 options for you to choose from. It's part of my process.
It's your option. It's not mine.
I wrote them down. We've got Chronocopia or Canacopia, whichever you prefer. Or we've got my favorite, which is 2 words, but I'm going to make them 1 just for the sake of it. It's called Urban Savannah. That's
Urban Savannah.
Okay.
Now, why did you pick these 3 amazing words? I'm interested to know.
Because when I think of like a place where there's nowhere to go, New York being a place where cannabis is still illegal, it's like, the mirage. You're in the desert and you finally find that place that is there, but it's like, it can't be real. Are you serious? And it's this Savannah, but it's in an urban environment. And so I call it Urban Savannah.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Good story. That's good.
Now, Abby, but last but not least, remember, it doesn't have to only be the place. It could be the brand, the movement, everything you know about it up to now, whatever you feel it represents.
So it's funny. It's like I almost want to steal one of Jared's words because I like that Canacopia. The word that kept on popping in mind, I mean, I said it earlier, you guys in my mind are kind of like this Alice in Wonderland type world, and Wonderland came to mind. Like, you're this mystical land that I keep hearing about, that you go through tunnels and doors and everybody's happy, and then there's this, stoned little monkey, and it's so great. But I love that Canacopia. That sounds like a mystical wonderland, that I want to visit, So
Canaland, like Candyland, Canaland.
Canaland. I like that.
I'll let you have that one.
All I know is that it's a land of happiness and gratitude because everybody that I've met from that mythical place has been wonderful.
Thank you for those kind words.
Damn, Abby.
Well, it's like I think that Harry touched on it earlier. I just feel like we're just a vessel. I feel like we're a vessel, like Harry said earlier, for the plant, and I guess the place and the people just took on that. And then aside from that, us as a company, we're also a vessel for New York, which is one of the biggest consuming cities in the world, as you guys know. But before us, really didn't have it's the least media. It has the least media, and the world knows least about the culture. So I just think we became a vessel for those two things, for the New York City cannabis culture and for the plant, and just got wrapped up in one of all of that. And I think that's what embodies the brand, and that's why we are the heart of New York City cannabis, because it's just like I said, not because we're anything special, because we're just the vessel where the culture gets to speak through, the plant gets to speak through on this side of the country.
Yes, the heart of New York cannabis. I really like that. That's exactly it.
I mean, you're right down there in Times Square, aren't you?
Yeah, man.
Yes, man. So, guys, it's been an honor and a pleasure, but as you know in life, all good things must come to an end. So now I need each one of you, because I know that you guys are very popular in the cannabis industry, but here in the East Coast and New York City and the tri-state area, a lot of people are not knowledgeable about the cannabis industry. So I want everybody to say where they could find you at, but also elaborate a little bit on your company so people can understand and follow the Happy Munkey and the Happy Hour. Why is it that you guys are so special in this industry? Let's start with you, Mr. David Farechild.
Yes, at the Farechild. You can follow us there at the Farechild, and the real important message is for chronic relief. You can get the details at farechild.com right now and sign up and get all of the information for the 420 party. So please follow that. And if you want to follow me, I'm at the Tranimal Chronicles. Visit me there. Been doing this for a long time and been connected with such, dope people like you guys. So it's, we're excited to do, to celebrate together and make a real difference. So I appreciate you letting us jump on and, keep doing what you're doing, man.
It's an honor to have legends like you that, inspire people like us and have laid the groundwork for people like us, because you're a triple OG in this. And thank you for, acknowledging us and always being so supportive from the beginning since we met.
Yeah, man. Always one love for sure.
The next Seattle neighbor, Mr. Jared, tell the people a little bit about yourself, where they can find you and about your company.
Well, Wick Mortar was the first cannabis-focused branding and marketing firm in the space. And, a little bit about, we're a branding and marketing firm. We've worked with some of the biggest brands in the world and some of the smallest. We love helping, people and brands of all walks of life. We think that there are some incredible people that don't know they're incredible yet, but need some incredible help. And so why not help them?
And it was so important for you to say that, because I'm going to give you fair warning, Jared. There's a lot of entrepreneurial cannabis brands coming out of New York, and they need to know where they get their marketing from.
Thank you. I appreciate that. You can follow us on Instagram at Wick and Mortar. You can also follow me on my personal IG or on LinkedIn. It's jared.mirsky. So not spelled D-O-T, but with a period.
Abby, tell these amazing people in Happy Munkey World a little bit about Sensi and where to find the magical award-winning Abi Wright.
So I'm Abi Wright. I am the publisher for Sensi Magazine Las Vegas. And Sensi is headquartered, founded in Denver, Colorado. We have 14 markets that are currently in print, but we have around 45 markets building up to print throughout the country. We've got a magazine. We do events now because of this COVID crisis. And we were working on it before, but this has really, made everybody kind of pivot, not just in our community, but others. We're now doing these virtual events as well. And then, of course, we work as a connection source for every one of our partners, both on the cannabis side and just, you know, small business community side. So that being said, you can find Sensi at sensimag.com. Again, like I said, we just launched our sensicares.org program, so make sure you check that out right now. And then you'll find out more information about chronic relief on that site as well. And then you can find me, find Sensi on Instagram at Sensi Magazine, I believe it is. And then myself is at Cannabis Wright, WRIGHT _ Sensi, SENSI. So
there you have it. The award-winning Abi. Look out for her. She's making major waves in this industry. And if you guys need some good publication, Sensi's the place. An amazing publication. Thank you, Abi.
Thank you.
Mr. Harry, now tell them about your amazing accounting talent so they know if they need to get their numbers straight, where to go.
Well, I have MCA Accounting, Mycannabisacct.com is the website. We've been here for about 5 years in the space. We've represent over 60 licenses in around 20 states now. So we've definitely been here for a minute. We've got experience and all sorts of crazy things. We, closures and sales and federal audits and close downs and subpoenas and all crazy stuff that happens in the cannabis world. And but really we're here because we want to help businesses in this industry succeed. And they need good help. And we're honestly one of the only firms in the country that actually has a specialty that focuses on cannabis. I literally sold my last practice to focus on cannabis, and that's what we do. And we want to help people because it's specialized. It's a specialized trade. It's specialized. This is a specialized industry, and the taxes matter, and can get yourself in trouble with the wrong people. So we're here because we like what we do, and we care about what we do, and we take care of our clients, and we want to keep them happy. Like I said earlier, if we don't help this industry succeed, it won't. And we all want to succeed. We want this to succeed. We want it to go further and go worldwide, and that's why we're here. So.
Oh, definitely, guys. Very important from experience. I can tell you guys to have a good numbers guy when you're ready to start your company, because cannabis can get very complicated when it comes to tactics and logistics. Well, I'm so happy and honored that you guys took the time to rock with me here on Happy Hour, man. And I'm so happy that I got to see you guys because, so we're able to, get down David Tran style, one of these amazing parties at Farechild. This is the best we can do, man. I really miss the energy, like you all said, that this industry brings, and, feeling that amazing energy in person. But this was an amazing night. Thank you guys so much. So happy we got together to back David and Feeding America and all the amazing causes and partners that are involved to do this. So everybody stay tuned. This 420, make sure you tune in to Feeding America, Farechild and all the amazing things. Chronic Relief. And till next time, guys, I really appreciate you. Thank you again. I'll probably, see you guys Monday. Tune in through the Feeding America and the Chronic Relief situation. But I'm so happy and honored that we got to enlighten people about it and just to chop it up with my friends, and, get an update on all you guys and know that you guys are all good at doing good, and we're still fighting the good fight against all odds. And thank you guys, man.
Be sure to check out highgradehope.com.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Vlad. Appreciate you. Appreciate all of you guys. You guys are wonderful. You guys made my whole Saturday night. Appreciate it.
This was so much fun, guys. Thank you. Really.
Thank you.
Till the next episode, guys, remember you're too blessed to be stressed. Peace.
Yes.
Love you guys.
Bye, guys.